Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is D back again with another video for you guys, and this video is going to be 10 great moments in live action Batman movies. And these will not include anything from the Batman film, because I have not seen that yet, so I'm not going to be able to incorporate that into this list. But once I see that movie, I'll start, figuring out how I'm going to incorporate that into further videos. But for now, the movie The Batman is not a part of any of these 10 moments. Now, these are not really ranked moments, except for my final one that I talk about. I do consider to be my top favorite, in my opinion, the greatest moment from any of the live action Batman movies. But the other 9 aren't in any particular order, so just kind of be aware of that. First one here, I'm going to go with from Batman Forever, when Batman is saving when he's saving Robin or Dick Grayson from the colorful neon gang or whatever that was about to jump him when he stole the Batmobile and took that out for a joyride. And they're in that alley, and that whole colorful gang is about to jump Dick Grayson, and then Batman kind of appears at the top of a building, or he's on like a catwalk or something. And I will, of course, have the clip in when I edit this and everything. But he jumps down to take on this whole gang, and he just kind of glides down from this elevated position, and just the way it looks really cool. Batman Forever is there's some moments just from an aesthetic perspective that actually look really good in Forever, particularly the bat suit in Batman Forever. And Val Kilmer is a little bit of a taller guy in terms of he is at least 6 feet. That height is kind of noticeable in Batman Forever. Like they're just things about Batman Forever that actually do look pretty cool, where it was just kind of like, if they would have tweaked some things and not went quite as far in the zany, colorful, kind of campy, not even just campy, but just that zany kind of colorful direction that they went in. If they would have kind of tweaked a few things, the Batman that's in Batman Forever actually would have been, pretty cool, at least much more well received than it was. But this moment when Batman is coming in to kind of save Dick Grayson from this gang, and the way he jumps from this building and just kind of glides down, and his cape is flapping behind him, and he's got his arms kind of spread out to the side. It's just a really cool look. I will make sure to try to put that shot in this video so you'll be able to see exactly what I'm talking about. You gotta admit, that looks pretty cool. That black suit with him gliding down in the night, it's actually pretty cool. And the landing, I liked the landing. There's some things about this movie that looked good. Next moment. So the first two, the last two, I will say, actually are ranked, because the last two on this list I do actually consider to be literally the two kind of best moments in live action Batman movies. But all right, this next one, I'm going to go with The Dark Knight Rises. Batman comes out of hiding. This is when Batman hadn't made an appearance throughout the whole up until this point. Batman hadn't made an appearance in this movie, and this was his kind of return. Even the city within the film, they hadn't seen Batman in years, and this was his return. And it was a really kind of just cool scene when he showed up. He started messing with the lights. You heard the sound of the tires on the Bat Pod go by, that kind of electric kind of, I don't even know how to describe it. It almost sounds like a RC car in a way, but just you hear that Bat Pod going by, and you see just kind of glimpses of the Dark Knight, and then he really shows up and kind of goes on what almost amounts to a joyride, really, with the cops kind of chasing after him and everything like that. That whole sequence, good moment in The Dark Knight Rises. Batman's first full reveal in Batman Begins. This was This was a good moment because, particularly obviously, Batman Begins, this was Batman returning to the live action screen for the first time since the 1997 Batman and Robin debacle. So this was really kind of at least if you're a big time Batman fan, this was a big deal. This was something to really pay attention to. And then when you finally got to see Bruce Wayne in the new bat suit, and he shows up, and he has a guy on top. He pulls the guy through the sunroof of the vehicle, and I think it's Falcone, I believe, and he's talking his Batman shit to him and all this type of, I don't know if he's like telling him I'm Batman or whatever he says to him, but that was the first kind of reveal. And he actually, in that moment, in that scene, he really looked great, just menacing, imposing, intimidating. The bat suit from Batman Begins is a really underrated bat suit, and it really made Batman in that film look very intimidating, very imposing, because it made his neck and his traps kind of look very exaggerated, to where he almost had a beast-like presence to him. So great moment in Batman Begins. The next moment is from BVS, and this is the moment that everybody seemed to love. Even the people that really didn't like BVS all seemed to be able to admit that this was a pretty cool scene, if not a fantastic scene. And that is when Batman goes to save Superman's mom, and he fights the thugs and gangsters in the thugs and gangsters in the warehouse. And it was the first time we ever really got to see a live action Batman fight like that, where it basically looked like a video game, like the Arkham video games. And he's really taking on opposition, taking on opponents all at the same time, and just really truly handling them in a relatively convincing fashion. This type of fight scene we had never seen before in a live action Batman movie, so definitely have to put this on the list. Next scene, this is from Batman Returns. This is at the masquerade ball when Bruce and Selina kind of see each other from across the room, and out of all these people in the room at the party, all wearing masks, various masks, these are the only two not wearing a mask, because damn it, they wear masks all the time in their regular life when they're Batman and Catwoman. They see each other from across the room, make their way towards each other and start to dance, and then through conversation they realize who the other one is. This is always Batman Returns. I'm very biased towards that movie in general. It's generally my favorite Batman movie out of all of them. The one that I just kind of have a soft spot for. I'm hoping that the Batman, when I do see it, I'm hoping that will challenge, because that seems to be kind of right up my alley, but we'll see. But in the meantime, I'm a big time fan of Batman Returns, and I've always liked this scene and this moment between Selina Kyle and Bruce Wayne, so it's on the list. Next up, we have Bane versus Batman, the first fight in The Dark Knight Rises. Of course, Bane wins that, breaks the Batman, and all of that. But I did a video a long time ago, at least a few years ago, where I kind of break down why I think the Bane Batman fight, the first one from The Dark Knight Rises, is actually a better scene than the BVS warehouse fight scene from Batman versus Superman. And I know I'm kind of in the minority in that opinion, but once the kind of the excitement and the novelty and the newness of seeing Batman in that warehouse fight and how he was fighting, and just we never seen a Batman fight sequence that looked like that before in a live action movie. Once I kind of got past that, and once that kind of wore off, the Bane versus Batman fight from The Dark Knight Rises, to me, just kind of resonates more. It had more weight to it. There was more drama to it. It was a heavier sequence. The slow, methodical nature of the fight made it a much more something much more menacing about that fight. That was a very effective sequence. The way it played out, the methodical nature of it, the way the storytelling nature of it, the way you can kind of tell through the physical movements and actions who was in control, who had the momentum of the fight. You could pinpoint the moment when Batman realized how in over his head he was in terms of physical competition with this imposing force that he hasn't faced before. The fight told a story. I really lean more towards that Bane fight than I do towards the warehouse fight from BVS. So Bane versus Batman, the breaking of the bat, as it were, that scene is on the list. Next up, I think I'm gonna go with The Dark Knight. Batman lands on the roof of the Getaway van. This is that scene that takes place relatively early in the film, and it starts out in the parking garage. Batman shows up. The Scarecrow is doing a deal with some guys, Russian mobsters and stuff, I believe. And Batman shows up, eventually ends up on a moving van, then gets knocked off of the moving van. The moving van continues to try to make its getaway by going down a spiral ramp in the parking garage. Batman walks to the edge of his position, the parking garage floor that he's on, and just drops down from the parking level that he's on and lands directly on top of the van, probably at least 3 or so stories down below, crushing the roof of the van in. And whether it's defies the laws of physics or not, stops the van right in its tracks or whatnot. It's just a really cool scene. Again, all of these scenes I'm going to edit into this video so that they will play. There will be some visuals of them as I talk about them, so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Just a really great scene, really great just shot, just very dynamic, strong, effective, dramatic shot, just very comic book like in the way it looked and the way it played out. I really like, just very cool stuff there. One of my favorite moments in all of the Batman live action movies, so it's on the list. Alright, and then next up we have Batman versus Superman. Batman chases thugs in a car chase and ends up running into Superman, and they have their little interaction where Superman tells him, when next time they put your light in the sky, don't go to it. And Batman asks Superman, do you bleed? And says, you will, after Superman flies off. That whole sequence, really cool scene in BVS. BVS, disappointing in general, at least the theatrical release, disappointing overall as a movie, but definitely some really, really cool moments and shots within Batman versus Superman, and this moment was one of those. First off, the car chase where Batman's chasing the thugs and all of that type of stuff, that's a pretty cool moment. And then it turns into, in my opinion, an even kind of cooler moment where Batman and Superman actually finally run into each other face to face for the first time. Superman rips the doors off the Batmobile, and Batman slowly stands up. Kind of a famous shot from one of the teaser trailer releases when that movie was first coming out. Batman slowly stands up, and him and Superman are face to face for the first time. Very cool moment from Batman versus Superman. Yeah, I think all that's left are my top two. So we're down to what I consider actually the top two moments for me. So this next moment, Batman Returns. Bruce Wayne gets the signal. The beginning of the movie, the Red Triangle Circus gang starts attacking the whole Christmas I guess whatever they're doing, the Christmas gathering celebration type speech that Max Schreck and the mayor are giving to Gotham in the town square deal there. Red Triangle Circle gang breaks out of the big Christmas box start creating havoc. The commissioner tells them to put the signal in the sky. They put the bat signal in the sky, and then we get the shot. Bruce Wayne sitting in the dark solemnly, I guess in deep thought, or simply just waiting. And the signal shines in the sky, reflectors and different kind of mirrors and whatnot that are attached to Wayne Manor make sure to reflect the bat signal into Wayne Manor's windows, and they shine right on Bruce Wayne, and he sees the light, and he stands up slowly and stands in the spotlight. It's I'm gonna have the scene playing, edited into here. If you've seen these movies, you know the scene I'm talking about. Really cool, just dramatic, very dark superhero like scene. The idea of just Bruce Wayne just sitting in the dark, complete darkness, regardless of whether he's thinking deeply or literally just waiting for the light in the sky. Either way, very cool moment, very just dramatic, strong moment. It's on the list. It has to be on the list. All right, now my top moment in a live action Batman movie. Again, The Batman by Matt Reeves is not included in this list because I haven't watched the movie yet as of the recording of this. My top moment, Batman 1989. Batman takes Vicky Vale back to the Batcave. This sequence, if you describe it, it sounds very simple. Batman and Vicky Vale get in the Batmobile, and Batman drives her to the Batcave. Very simple description of this moment. And when you see this on the screen, regardless of when you see it, this is a moment it's eternally great. It's always been a great moment. It never ceases to be a great moment. It works so well. The vehicle looks great, just going through the different hills, driving through the hills and the curves and the turns in the road. In the middle of the night, the leaves blowing as the vehicle whips through the road. You're driving through these forested areas, just driving, away from the city, and just the light, the music works wonders. The music that is playing during this sequence works wonders. Just not a lot of dialogue. I don't think any dialogue at all happens in this sequence. And it's Michael Keaton, Michael Keaton as Batman looks great in the cowl, sitting there, and then Vicky Vale. It's just a really good moment. No dialogue, all mood, all music, all atmosphere. It's a brilliant piece of just cinema, just a very movie magic type sequence. But yeah, so that is it, you guys. That is my top moment from live action Batman movies. Batman 1989. Batman takes Vicky Vale back to the Batcave, and I'm specifically talking about just that sequence, literally the sequence of him driving Vicky Vale back to the Batcave. A fantastic moment in Batman movies. So that's it, you guys. I still got to check out the Batman and get to start doing a little bit of content and commentary on that movie, because I can tell I'm probably gonna have a whole lot to say about that film. So but thank you for watching. Until the next time, I will catch you on the next go round.